Officials from billionaire mogul Richard Branson's Long Beach-based Virgin Orbit said a crucial test of its two-stage, orbital rocket system, designed to rival that of Elon Musk's SpaceX for satellite launches, ended its mission shortly after the rocket was released from a Boeing Co. 747. The plane, named Cosmic Girl, took off from the Mojave Air and Spaceport in California on Monday, May 25, at 11:56 a.m. Pacific Time, carrying beneath it Virgin Orbit's Launcher 1 rocket over the Pacific Ocean. About an hour later, the plane released the rocket in what Virgin Orbit called a clean release. 3 minutes later, the company said the mission had ended. However, there have been more than 20 previous tests, including one earlier this year carrying the rocket, but this was meant to be the first time Launcher 1 had been ignited. Earlier this week, Virgin Orbit described Monday's test as the apex of a 5-year-long development program. "We've confirmed a clean release from the aircraft." However, the mission terminated shortly into the flight, the company tweeted Monday. "Cosmic Girl and our flight crew are safe and returning to base." Prior to Monday's attempt, Virgin Orbit said maiden flights by government and commercial providers typically fail about half the time. The company's ultimate goal is to use its rockets to launch small satellites into space, competing with ground-based launches, such as those from Space Exploration Technologies Corp. Hawthorne-based SpaceX got a significant head start. Over the past decade it's launched about 100 rockets, landed many of them safely back on Earth, and come to dominate the industry, while being valued at close to $40 billion. In a few days, SpaceX is set to carry 2 NASA astronauts to the International Space Station, the first time NASA personnel have blasted off from the U.S. since the 2011 retirement of the Space Shuttle. SpaceX founder Elon Musk offered his condolences to his competitor, tweeting Monday that he was sorry to hear about the failure. "Orbit is hard," Musk wrote on Twitter. "Took us 4 attempts with Falcon 1. Shortly after the aborted attempt, Virgin Orbit officials said the company was still able to glean plenty of data to help in their future efforts, for which they already have another launch vehicle ready to go. Launcher 1 maintained stability after release, and we ignited our first stage engine, Newton 3, the company posted on Twitter. An anomaly then occurred early in first stage flight. We'll learn more as our engineers analyze the mountain of data we collected today." Meanwhile, the Virgin Orbit test this weekend comes at a critical time for Branson, as the coronavirus pandemic weighs heavily on his leisure and travel assets. The Virgin Australia airline fell into administration last month, and Virgin Atlantic pitched to about a dozen potential investors last week as the UK government drags its heels over an emergency bailout.